This episode of Mid-Ohio Rock Show is brought to you by Two Cousins Pizza Company. Located at 103 North Main Street in downtown Mansfield, Two Cousins offers the best pizza, subs, and stromboli in the area at family-friendly prices. Check out their website at twocousinspizzaco.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Tommy Barnes and welcome to the Mid-Ohio Rock Show. We today are hanging out at the 1285 Winery, which is located at the Blueberry Patch in Lexington on Hanley Road, just off of Route 42. Really cool joint, very rustic looking, and you know, at this time of year with things getting colder, we're not too far from the holidays and Christmas, and kind of cool to welcome in a guy that we had on earlier. We're talking about 6 years ago on Rock Show, I think episode 17, Michael Kelsey out of a lot of things going on. We've seen you a bunch of times since then, playing Blueberry Patch and different things like that.
Coming around Ohio area for a long time, so it's always nice to get back, and like on a night like tonight, to get to see everybody that I've known for over 15, 20 years or something. It's been a long time of running around playing.
Yeah, it's kind of cool getting to catch up and stuff like that. So you've been traveling pretty busy. I see you're going to be taking off and playing, I think, Kent, Ohio, and a few other shows here in Ohio here.
Just staying busy.
Yeah, cool. You know, it's talking about busy, man. One of the things that I know you spend a lot of time with is a website like everybody. We're all on Facebook and Instagram and things of that nature. And it gives me a great opportunity and everybody else to check out what you've been up to. And what you've been up to, man, I told you as we were talking here a little bit ago, just really grabbed me. The new CD, I think you released into September, Falling Awake. The song you did for that, anytime you throw a slide guitar, you're taking me back to Bonnie Raitt, Billy Gibbons, you know. Put so much soul into that guitar and what you're doing, and that song is cool as ever, man.
I appreciate that. The last record I got back to my roots of just, I feel like I'm always a funky, kind of a blues man inside, and then there's so many different parts of me that I like different styles of music, but there's that guy in there, so a lot of the songs on the record kind of let that guy come out and play around a little bit.
A new CD out, and it's called Falling Awake, and this is the title track of that song. Come on, Gene, you gotta shake your hands around like you're getting into, it's like the equivalent of front row. Where you at is like front row. It's like if we were in a big concert hall. Okay, so. Sitting in the attic on a old wood beam, staring at the pole to the sky where the roof used to be. Somebody come around while I was sleeping, turning my ways of thinking, and now nothing could ever be the same. I tell you now, nothing could ever be the same. Watch out, don't catch me, 'cause I'm a falling. Don't catch me, I am falling.
You know, one thing I noticed too is something I'm sure you've done quite a bit is played with other people, but with social media you get an opportunity to actually see what you're doing, and Falling Awake was an example of that. I mean, the song starts off with you playing a slide guitar, goes right into a harmonica, and the next thing you know, there's 5-6 guys all playing on this song with you.
Mm-hmm. There's my guys. Seems like when you play music, I like basing it around playing solo. So it's like all those songs could be done in a solo context, but they all know the tune. So I like to line up gigs where we can take over a theater or do a street festival or something like that, and get the groove of the guys behind it, and then sometimes when we come out and play, then I can always sprinkle in special guests. If I had a sax player or a cello player or something, so music's fun that way. It's just malleable. Does it and kind of set it up in a situation that if for some reason they called up at the last second and said they couldn't make it, doesn't matter to me. It's all based around the solo thing that I do. But when they come out, they can enhance, and they do enhance.
You can layer it like that with all those great sounds, or you could take it all the way down to just simple.
Yeah, just the rawness of stomping on the floor and getting on that guitar, But by the time you start adding people, and I love the chemistry of working with other musicians and a lot of the spontaneity. So as I kind of roam around from town to town, get to know the different musicians in town, and a lot of times they'll come out, but it's not really about practicing or going through the song. I like throwing them new material that they've never heard, because what I like is their element of surprise on how they adapt to the song. And I feel like when the audience even senses that musician is adapting to what I'm throwing at them, there's an entertainment involved in just the rawness of music and sound and just connecting.
That has to be one of the cool aspects about what you're doing, is not playing the song the same every time you play it.
Yeah. I feel like you're customizing it for that night, and it feels more authentic if I can just.
Taking things down to a simple level, the song you do called "Old Guitar," I tell you, man, Michael, when you started off with the guitar playing, immediately I started thinking bluesy, and then I started thinking way south. I mean, down to New Orleans kind of blues, where it's so laid back and it's got such a rich sound to it, and that song to me did that to me. And then you started playing a guitar, and I'm like, man, he's pulling me in on this thing.
Nice.
It was amazing sounding, and it goes back to kind of a blues influence, I think, right?
Just always like there's something about the power of guitar. It's more like in the groove. Even though I play guitar and I like doing a lot of whatever fancy things and a bunch of notes, but in my heart it's like the groove of the guitar, just locking into some grooves and stomping and just letting some energy out is kind of like the place I feel most at home.
When you're back home, do you get an opportunity to go back to the high school or anything like that, and maybe catch up with some of the kids or do some classes and hang out and things of that nature?
Since I do a lot of school programs, so you're always doing things. And it's a way of, it's not just like stopping what you do and just talking and teaching about it. I really bring the show to it. A lot of times at these assemblies I do for the kids, they feel like rock and roll shows. Like when you get done, because I'm interacting with the kids and I'm getting ideas from them to make songs, and we're taking it someplace. Or when it gets done, whew, it's like your heart's beating. You feel like it just got done with a rock and roll show. And so in my school in my own hometown, whenever they have me come back, I just like going back and reliving in the spaces where I've.
When you've got that kind of an audience in front of you, making up songs has got to be pretty easy, because I have seen you go from watching a butterfly to a bird fly to a sunshine to a cloud to whatever, and 3.5 minutes later the song is done and created.
Yeah. There's a lot about improv that I like, and I'm always trying to cultivate, but there's something about that, once again, that word authentic. Somehow bringing improv, it's a way of staying awake in the moment, so that whenever you're doing a show, I'm not coming here with a bunch of stuff that's in my back pocket. You're trying to create something, customize that event, and so improv, I just get a kick out of seeing what the moment brings and what can happen. Sometimes a lot of crashing and burning can go on, but that's okay.
Pumpkin cheesecake, my Lord. I mean, that's cool. You want to do that to me, right? I mean, you're right here. It's like, It's okay, I'm playing. I can't have a bite. I just got to watch you guys take your bite. It's like, oh, and you had to say wow, too. That's right. Pumpkin cheesecake, pumpkin cheesecake, pumpkin cheesecake, pumpkin cheesecake, pumpkin cheesecake. It's my favorite. 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 Yeah, I don't normally complain. I never go insane. I never really eat any food till I get done playing. So I'm not gonna raise a big stink, you know. I'm not gonna tell you what I think, no. But you should know again and again and again and again that my favorite flavor is a pumpkin. Pumpkin cheesecake, it's my favorite. Pumpkin cheesecake, it's my favorite. Pumpkin cheesecake, it's my favorite. Pumpkin cheesecake. It's my favorite. Even though my taste buds are wilting, you should not feel guilty. It is alright and it's okay, you know, and it's like I hope that you finish that whole thing. I hope that it's a pure empty plate, you know, and I'll just judge from the smile on your face, and they'll probably run out of the cheesecake within this place, but that's alright. That's the way it's done again and again and again, and you know that my favorite thing is pumpkin. It's pumpkin cheesecake. It's my favorite. 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 Okay, I'm done.
We're here at the 1285 Winery in Lexington, Ohio. Really cool place, real rustic looking. And you have an opportunity as you do travel to play some really cool joints. Delphi Theater back home, probably one of those places where you did your CD release, I would guess. So. Yeah. Maybe just for a second, talk about some of the really cool venues you get a chance to see and how that really plays into your music.
Yeah, all the, if you think of the spaces like tonight when it's what I would call like an intimate space, it has a kind of commands a little bit of a focal point, a focus to it. And then, and that is powerful because people are close. So when it comes to either making music or improving, everybody sees everybody. There's something very beautiful about that. Mm-hmm. Now when you're in a theater environment, then all of a sudden you open up to a larger thing, but now you have a presentation. Every venue kind of offers it different. You would approach it differently on how you're reaching the people. But my probably my favorite things are just when there's a focus to it. And I love doing street festivals and watching people dance and getting a band to come out and we'll just make some grooves. I love people moving their bodies to it. But I think my favorite is when people are close and it's an intimate experience.
We're about to have that right here, aren't we?
Yes.
Pretty quickly.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Michael Kelsey's been joining us on the Mid-Ohio Rock Show. I'm Tommy Barnes. Give you a little cheers.
Hey.
Awesome seeing you. Happy holidays ahead.
Thank you, Tommy.
And a great 2018 to you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
We'll see you. Thanks.
I'd like to leave you with this one. This is off Submerged. Thanks, everybody. I hope you all have a great night. This is called The Free Spirit.